please give a loving, precious round of loving applause for Reverend Carmen Lacey.
I love you. I love you more. Is this on?
Oh, Carmen, you got to wait a minute. Stand here with me. Can you read the children's word?
Loving. Is this on? It doesn't sound like it is, does it? Well, I guess I'm listening to me. We are surrounded by love. Love is happiness, fun, laughter, caring, and giving. We can do all of that when we love ourselves and others. The affirmation, say after me, I feel the love and give it away to others. I feel the love and give it away to others. Can I give you a hug? I
What's
feel
love
the
to you?
love and I give the love to others.
What's love to you, Haley?
Giving other people things what I don't need anymore.
Woo. Yay. All right. So there's the love in the children. So happy Mother's Day, everybody. What an awesome day to be here with all of you. So I just want to ask one question. Did you come in on a mother's journey? If you have a mother, no matter what kind of mother, and you're here today, then you're meant to be here. So I'm excited. Everything I planned today, Joanne did this amazing meditation this morning, and it really said everything I was going to say at the beginning. So some of you were in here, and some of you weren't, so I will kind of go through a little bit. But when I talk about the hearts of the mother, I'm going to go from first you, because you're the first one. And when we talk about love today, that is it, is love, right? So we're going to start there, and we're going to tune into our own hearts first. And then we will move into the grandmothers and the mothers. And then we are going to move into Mother Earth, and then we're going to move into the galactic, the Ascended Masters. So we're going to kind of draw on all of it. So normally I start off with a prayer, and I use them in. But it said, do that at the end today. So I'm going to tune into you first. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit how my journey has been and why I'm here and what that path has taken me to be. Because we all have our own path. We're all going to keep on that path. But it can change and it can be. So not always is it the way we planned it. And I don't know if anybody planned any of it, because boy, oh boy, does it ever get shifted and changed, and the pendulum swings. And I think that's wonderful that Joanne and them are making the pendulums today, because that is how life goes. We're always in balance. We're always come to harmony. We're always trying to find ourselves. So what I want you to do right now is bring your hands up. Take a deep breath in, hold it in prayer, and bring it down to your heart. There we go. And I want you to place your hands right on your heart and hold that vibration. If you can hear your heartbeat and feel it, that's the beginning of this journey. And I want you to see in the center of your heart that flower of life. That seed, that star seed that comes. Take a deep breath in. Bring it in and drop it into your heart. And hold that energy. And then breathe it out. Breathe in, I am love. Hold it, feel it, know it. And then breathe it out and expand the front of your heart. I am love. And breathe it back in. Your heart is only yours. This heart started thousands of years ago, and only you have it. You have its song inside of you. You have its love inside of you. For we are made of love. No matter what has happened, this heart, before you took on your human being suit, is you. And now open the back of your heart as you breathe in and let the moon in. I am love. Expand it, expand it, expand it, hold it, and then push it out the back. I am love. Breathe in again. I am love. And this time as you push it out, put on your wings. I am love. And feel that love going into your shoulders, taking off any heaviness on your back. And breathe that love back in. And now breathe that love out to the right and the left side of your bodies. Expand it, expand it, expand it. And it's almost like you can feel it going down your arms and out your hands, and your wings are opening. Your heart from the sun is opening, and this beautiful light is now radiating into the very center of your heart, balancing your right side, which we call the masculine side, and your left side. And then breathe that in. And now I want you to take that breath of I am love. Breathe it up your head, out your crown of your head, and right up to the galactic brothers and sisters of light. That all that universe, that grid above your head, and it's like a network of love and light. And all of that, the stars, the planets, all are aligning for you to come to this earth. And now breathe that love down, down. It's almost like you see the star seed that you were planted here coming down through your crown. It's carried through the Milky Way. It's carried through the northern lights. It's carried through the gateways when the sun and the moon change hands at dusk or dawn. And those beautiful clouds that are pink or blue means that's when you were coming. That's the gateway to the children. And now bring that star right down into your heart. I am love. Now breathe that in. Feel it expand in your heart. And now take that light and that love, and as you breathe it down into Mother Earth, Gaia, our Divine Mother. A little bit lower, as you read today, that we plant the seed and breathe down, down until it takes in the hands of the Mother. She holds it. And she creates that earth energy like a battery, like a computer. And now reach out and ground and reach out the network in the earth, the ley lines, the grid of Mother Earth, and you connect to your ancestors, you connect to your DNA, and you create a human body suit made from the water, the earth, the air, all that she holds. And she creates you absolutely, perfectly divine. And that grid and that DNA and all the genes of all those that walked before you, that walked on this earth in their carbon-based body, and you, feel the grid and feel that light as if you're absolutely hooking into an energy current and you're sending that light out to the Divine Mother Earth. And all through her grids and everywhere where you walked, where you traveled, where you danced, where you crawled, feel that light going out. And in that earth, wherever there is your ancestors, your lineage, your connection, send them love. For they had a journey that was huge for you to be here today. For you are made of their bones. You are made of their DNA. And you've taken on some of the energy and the conditioning and the patterns. You have taken that on. Send that love down and set them free. Set them free. Send that love down, because some did not feel that love that's in your heart. They did not feel the love from the universe. So bring it out, bring it out. And now hook into the grid of the Divine Mother and lighten her up with your love. And now breathe that energy and that divine energy up through the core, up through the core of your body, and right back into your heart. And there you are. There you are. There is an energy like a battery with the positive ion on the top, the negative in the earth, and it is just energy moving up your body like light and down your body like light. And then it goes in to your heart. And that heart opens up like a geometrical shape. Only you have it. And it's filled there. So open it up and allow that energy to create the star within you and bring in all the colors of the earth and the sky. So the red and the orange and the yellow and the green and the aqua green and the sky blue and the indigo blue and the purple. And now bring it in. And there's even colors you didn't even know existed. Bring it into your heart and watch it form with circles and squares and all of the geometrical sacred geometry. This is your heart. This is your beat. This is who you are. And I want you to get to know this beautiful being that you are before you even took on this suit that you walk in. And just feel the love. For in your heart, everything is what you need. All your blueprints, all your knowledge, all your wisdom is right inside of you. And hold that space of gratitude, of love. And just feel your computer being built with all this love, your legs, your buttocks, if you're a male or a female, your stomach, your breasts, your hands, your neck, your head, your skull. And just feel all the beauty inside of you coming out in your eyes, your ears, your voice. You are a musical note. You are all of it, and it's all inside of you. And just breathe that in and smile that you made it here. What was your journey? What was the 9 months in your mother's womb? How was that journey? And when you're ready, open your eyes. There we go. Woo! Big energy in here. So now, as you hold that, I'm going to come into that's who we are. So your mother has played a role to get you here. Your father has played a role. And they say that you consciously took on, you choose them. I used to say, was I sleeping? Or, what was going on out there? But I am so grateful for choosing my mother. So on November the 19th of 1957, my mother hemorrhaged. She had placenta previa. And so when she got to the hospital with me, they said the baby did not survive. And we're going to try and keep you alive. So my mother went in and thought that I didn't make it. But this determined 4 pounds, 6 ounces, 12 inches long creature was coming in, hell or high water, and she made it. So here I am. Haven't really grown a lot more than that. But anyway, I was determined. So my mom, when she said, what did I have? Did I have a boy or did I have a girl? And they said, you have a girl. And she said, I have a girl? And they said, oh, yes. it's a miracle she's here, but she's here, and this is the size. And my dad brought me in, all crunched up in his hand, and handed me to her in the palm of his hand. And everybody just kept saying, "Oh my God, she's so small, she's so small." So I started with the word small probably as the beginning of my name. And I didn't quite like that. And I thought there was something wrong with me because of that size, right? And nobody said, "Oh, she's cute, she's lovely, she's great, she's this, she's that." No, she's just small. She's just small. So I have grown, thank God. I'm still not that. So I come into a family with my mom and my dad, and they did not practice any type of religion or belief system in that way. My mom was very spiritual, and she always said to me, your God is inside of you. It is not outside of you, but this is your playground now, and you can play it. But it's inside you. And I never quite get that. And then later on in life, I heard that the longest journey you will ever take in your life is 12 inches. So here I am, 12 inches from your head to your heart. For me, at that point, it was my head to my feet. So I thought that's kind of cool. And then I read something, and I used to say this to the children, that the Creator gathered all of the creation and said, "I want to hide something from the humans until they are ready for it." It is the realization that they create their own reality. And the eagle said, "Well, give it to me. I will take it to the moon." And the Creator said, "No. One day that will go there, and they will go there and they will find it." And the salesman said, and the salmon said, "Oh, I will take it to the bottom of the ocean." And the Creator said, "No, they will go there too." And the buffalo said, "Hey, I will bury it on the Great Plains." And the Creator said, "They will cut it into the skin of the earth, and they will find it there." And the grandmother mole, who lives in the breast of Mother Earth, and who has no physical eyes, but sees with the spiritual eyes, said, "But I know, put it inside of them." And the Creator said, "It is done." So I pray that you've got the heart in you now. So I thought my mom was crazy, and I, went through the first 7 years. Now, the first 7 years, we plan our hard drive in our brain. So everything we do, from walking, talking, reading, writing, becomes so natural. But it's actually the hard drive in this computer. And so it becomes solidified in there. And then we seem to just keep going back to that, no matter what happened. That's our hard drive. So I thought, for 7 years. Ooh, what happened to me in those 7 years? So when I was 6, I had a near-death experience. And I froze to death. We had lived in Winnipeg, and I had lost my mitts from school. And in those days, you got one pair of mitts. You never lose them. And it was my birthday, and I got a ring with the letter C on it for Carmen. So I thought, ooh, look at me. But of course, at recess, I took my mitts off, and I lost them. And then I had to stay at school and find them before I could go home, because I knew I was going to be in trouble. Well, when I got out of the school, it was dark, and a blizzard had come in. And I must have been probably 40 pounds soaking wet, if that was it. And the wind was so strong, and I tried to get home. And I couldn't see. And so I just cried, and I kept crying for my mom. But my mom couldn't come, because she couldn't find me. And my brother, who was a whole big year older than me, was supposed to walk me home. He got cold and just left. So I had nowhere. And then I tried to get back into school, and I couldn't open the doors because I was too small, and they were probably locked. So I took off, and I got so cold, and I just rolled up in a little ball with my Barbie lunch kit, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And then the mother come, but not in the form of my mother. This beautiful mother come in a blue light, and she was the most beautiful mother I had ever seen. And she come to me, and she took my hand, and she walked me home. And when they found me, I was completely unconscious and frozen. My hands were completely frozen with a little Barbie lunch kit, because I lost my mitts. I'm not going to lose that. That was my favorite lunch kit. And they took me in the house. In those days, the doctors come to the house, and they defrosted me. I guess that's what I call it. So I was frozen in time. And that energy, I spent a year, they were going to have to amputate my feet and my hands, but they're still here. So 6, you grow. So I guess that was the experiment I become, was that because at 6, your body grows and you have different energy. So anyway, I lived through that. And my mom said, why didn't you just come in the house? You were on the step. Why didn't you just walk in? Why didn't you knock on the door? And I said, well, I don't know. The lady, didn't she knock? Didn't she ring the doorbell? Didn't she? And I always knew. And then I listened later on, because my birthday's in November, and they had at Christmas time, they had these, the little matchstick girl. And at the end of that story, my dad was very much into Hans Christian Andersen books, and he would read it over and over. And at the end, the grandmother comes. The grandmother comes to this little matchstick girl, and when they found her, she was frozen to death, but she was smiling. And I thought, well, that's like the lady I did, but I didn't get that, Grandma. You should have seen the one I got. She was beautiful. So that started my journey for the rest of my life, was to find that beautiful, sparkly mother. And my parents, of course, didn't go to church. We were army brats, so, I always go out like, well, you're never going to go to heaven because you guys don't go to church. And I thought, well, God doesn't do that. And God isn't a male, God is a girl. And I'm going to find her. So we used to, of course, my parents would go drinking. And then in the Sunday morning, they didn't care where you went as long as you weren't in there, bothering them. So my brother and I would dress up in our best clothes. And we went to different churches all around trying to find God or my friend, right? Never seemed to find it, but we found lots of other people. We got lots of great gifts. Some people let us eat. The Christian or the Catholic Church was a little weird, getting up and down and up and down. And then we went and had that stuff they put in your mouth, and I thought, well, that didn't taste very good. So we always laugh about that. So that started the journey of finding my mother, finding the mothers. And unfortunately for me, I didn't feel that I didn't like adults, because I felt they all lied, they all cheated, nobody talked. So here's some programming, bing, bing, bing in my head that was the way it was. When you get big, you learn to lie, and you don't say the right things, and you pretend, and you wear masks. So I used to get a lot of lickings because of that, right? And so I thought, okay, well, it's just the way it is. And then something happened. At 17, I was pregnant, and I was so excited because I'm going to be the mother that I could be, a real mother, the one that doesn't do things like this and all those big adults. And so anyway, I was the proudest mom being a mom. And I know at that age you wouldn't think that would be the best thing, but I really was. And it happened not because I wanted. It was the first time that had happened. And I have had difficult life prior to that. So I was going to be the best mom. Then on my second child in 1978, my first daughter, 75, and in 78, I hemorrhaged to death on Valentine's Day. And they had a really hard time bringing me back that time. And all I kept remember when I was going down was, I can't get out of here yet. I have a baby to look after. And they brought me back again. So this is now the third near-death experience. And I'm so grateful that I had a son and then I had a daughter. So to me, when we're moms, our hearts are so big, and we just give and we give and we give. And sometimes we sort of lose ourselves. So that was that time. So anyway, I thought the best thing to do was go to school, become the best teacher I could be, the best mom I could be, and I took every parenting class. I tried to be the best wife, and you do all of that. So that was the next journey. And it's always through learning, always through how do we get there. And then on 9/11, when my grandson was born, I had a massive stroke. And so that stroke took me on the next stage of my life because I knew something else is there. So then the medical system didn't seem to be filling the gaps for me. So then I started learning about Reiki, energy, healing, and I was going to do everything. So that's what I did. So another opening. So every time there's a death, there's a birth. Every time there's a shadow, there's a light. So you just keep going. Because that's what I was told. And you can't really rely on all those adults. You just got to do it yourself. So on I go again. And then after that, I started doing a lot of healing work. And then I met up with this beautiful woman called Hannah Laura. And I taught with her for 7 years. And we learned all about life and energy and people and great things. And then I had another hit, again I call it, and then from there I learned about, I went into the 13 Indigenous grandmothers, and I loved it because they believed in just what I said, the earth and the mothers and that we can change the life, we can make this a better world for the next 7 generations. And if you clean your own stuff up, you can do the last 7. And I thought, well, that's cool. So then I started doing that. And then I joined this ministry that hooked into the earth and Mother Earth, and the indigenous ways of living, because I didn't experience that either. I had gone to these churches trying to find God. Well, maybe it's in the earth. And I did. I got to see Mother Earth. And oh my God, she was beautiful. And I love animals. So then I got to be with all the animals. And then I realized that there's an underworld. And we hook into that beautiful energy of the underworld, and we travel, and where we put our carbon footprints are so exciting, you know, they're really exciting. So then I got into this travel thing, and I really like that too. And then we had a murder in our family, 3 murders all at once. And that took me down another dark hole like crazy. And we went through the trials, and it was the most beautiful family because it was my cousin and her husband and their grandchild. So it was the trinity of the mother, the father, and the child. And little Nathan was his name, and I loved that kid inside out. He was so beautiful. And he said something to me, and it was the last words I heard from him. And I said, hey, Nathan, he was 5. I said, who are you? And of course, my ego got in the way, and I wanted this little boy to be like, well, I am the whatever master of the world, right? And he said, well, I'm a superhero. And he's got his, super costume on. And he had to be Peter Parker that day because they were going out for dinner, and he had to have his black little outfit on, and he had his glasses with the glass poked out for Peter Parker. And then we're working with my aunt, and she was dying of brain cancer, and he said, well, we're here to heal. Like, that's what we do. And so he used the crystals, he did his energy, and he was amazing. And when he was leaving, I said, hey, you're a superhero. What are you going to do, superhero? And he said, I am going to save the world. And I said, oh, well, that's cool. How are you going to do that? And he said, there is only one way. And I said, well, what way is that? And he said, love. And then he grabbed me and he put his lips to my face, and I thought, you know what? He's got it right. So even though through that murder, through the horror of everything that happened and all the trials, what I learned is there's always the love. You just got to hook into it. You just got to hook into that love. So that took me into another journey, and that took me to the Sophia Code. And so I'm working with the Ascended Masters, and they're all the feminine. So Sophia just means mother. It's the energy. And so that took me in, and I was just about at the end of getting, all of it done. And then what happened was, here's the book. So this is well used, but that's the Sophia Code. And I had met this woman on Mount Shasta. Her name is Kaya Ra, long before this, when I was the minister of walking prayer. And we had the 13 Indigenous grandmothers, then we had traveled the earth. So anyway, that's the journey of bringing in the mother, the earth mother, the grandmothers, and then the Ascended Masters. So then COVID hits. Then my mom dies. And I thought, are you kidding me? Then my dog dies, all in like a couple weeks, right? And I thought, this is a little over the top. But thank God for the support I had from all the mothers. And then when my mom died, my dog died, then my marriage went down after 45 years, and then I'm starting over. So then COVID hits, and you're stuck in your home for years by yourself with my new dog. And then I had to go and really work it out. So then someone asked me to be, are you going to be the elders? And I thought, oh God, another title. Like, good God. You know, it's either Miss, or it's this, or it's that, or it's Reverend, or it's Grandmother, or it's whatever. I just kind of am done all of this. Like, I'm just me. And then they said, okay, you can be the elder. And then we had to do this amazing thing called the River of Life. And when you do the River of Life, you write down all of your trauma. And then you write down who is there to support you. How did you get through it and that. And so it was awesome. And then it did the most amazing thing to me. Guess where it took me? Back home to the child. Back home to who we are as children. And so I realized that is who we are. We're all children. And then I woke up this morning and I said, oh, did you get a message for me? So I was going to write all this out, and then all of a sudden it said, oh, here's your message. So it took me to the Ascended Master. Where did I just write it? There. And this is the thing it said. The innocence of your heart is a precious jewel that shines as your greatest gift to the world. Nothing can compare to your wealth, your wisdom, or your knowledge, to the innocence of your pure heart. A pure heart has nothing to prove. It abides in the continuous state of wonder of the world. And then there is a spontaneous exchange of truth. Remember I said I didn't really like candles because they all lied? Well, anyway. So there is a spontaneous exchange of truth for those who relate to the one another through your innocence. Your innocence is the holy of holies, the curiosity that invites miracles. Jesus spoke of inviting your innocence to step forward, the master within you. Like Nathan said, I am that master. And Jesus said, bring the little children onto me, for theirs is the kingdom of God. Truth is not feared by those who take refuge within their innocence, for truth is all they seek to see within all things, and this essential nature of the divine love. Those who embody their heart, their innocence, often wonder why others turn away from that gaze, curled over in fears of yesterday. For those who embody their innocence can see the same innocence within others, regardless of their circumstances and beyond how others judge themselves. So I pray today when we open this up and I call in the 4 directions, and I'm going to use a mixture of the different prayers, and then I'm going to go into the silence, and I want you to see and feel the mother that you are, that you're created. If you are an artist, if you have a business, if you have, we're planting seeds, if you're a gardener, there's the creation. There is the love. There is how we all move. There is how we enjoy life. Are you in your joy, or are you in your fear? Are you in your shadow, or are you in your light? Find that today. Find out who you are, because God made you perfect, divine, beautiful. And that's the only person you need to find, is you today. And be the child, the mother, the grandmother, because you're all of it. So at this point, I am going to grab my drum. And whatever doesn't resonate with what I said today, let it go, because that's the whole thing of it. be like my students. You know, in school, they just, whoop, that's out. And then about 6 years later or something, they'll come and say, you know, when you said that, I remember that, right? And I made pendulums one time with my grade 2 class, and we gathered up crystals, real crystals, and then we had to do this thing on making crystals, and they made their mothers earrings and a necklace out of true crystals that we got, and we had to, we put them in the, what do they call it, the turner thing that makes them, the tumbler, and they had to measure it and find out which one they were. I have never seen jewelry so beautiful when they were done. And they give them, and then one day I was having my, a new stove put in my house and countertop, and this man come and said to me, are you Mrs. Lacey? And I said, yeah, I am. And he says, I remember you. My mom still wears the necklace and the earrings that I made her. And she said they're worth a lot of money now. And I laughed and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't recognize you when you were 4. And now you're, 40, right? So it was kind of funny. And I thought, whatever our children make for us, that love, isn't it the greatest thing? And it's put in that the jewels of our bodies. So I'd like you to just kind of close your eyes, go into the heart of you, connect with the grid above the sky and the grid in the earth. And as I look to the east, the place of air that we breathe, the consciousness of humanity, of your life, I call in the powers of the east, the winged ones, the consciousness that brought you here, the sacred consciousness that knew that you needed to be here right now on this planet Earth for the shift. As we move from the 3rd dimension and higher now to the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, wherever you're going. It is now. So you needed to be born. You needed your mother with such gratitude to give you this human body suit as we call upon the powers of the East. And I call upon Isis, 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 she of 1,000 names of the mother. I call in Hathor, 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 1,000 voices that the mothers speak. And I call in Green Tara, Green Tara, Green Tara, she of 1,000 stars. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. And then I reach out to the grandmothers in the east, and I call, Grandmother, I see you sitting in the east. You are sacred, and I am looking at you. I pray to you, pray to you. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. And then we turn to the south, the place of summer, the place of the sacred child, the phoenix child before you, the wounded child. And we call in the divine mothers. We call in the power of the south, the innocent child that walks this earth. And I call in Mother Mary, Mother Mary, Mother Mary, who come to me to bring in her rose petals and pour those rose petals down upon you now and honor and open up the rose, the flower in your heart to receive. And I call in Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, she of 1,000 angels, to surround you now with the angels and the order of Magdalena and Jesus now. and to take back your beautiful power, your courage as the woman that you are. And I call out to the south. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the south. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. I pray to you, pray to you. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. And then I've turned to the west, the place of autumn, the place of water, the place of the sacred bear, the one that hibernates, that goes inside and listens to your inner voice, and be able to distinguish that inner voice from the false voices of fear, doubt, indecision, chaos. And let Kuan Yin come with Babaji, and to take their holy water and to sprinkle you with snow, with raindrops, with water from the earth, from the creeks, the streams, and to be able to listen to the memories in the water, and to hold that water within you as I call out to the west. Grandmother, I see you in the west. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. I pray to you, pray to you. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. And then I turn to the north, the place of mountains of knowledge, the place of the sacred white buffalo, our teachers, our elders, our healers, our wisdom keepers. And I bring in white buffalo woman, white buffalo woman, white buffalo woman. And I bring in that energy of the elders, of discernment, to be able to speak your truth with wisdom, with knowledge, with integrity. As you take that energy in, and I call to the north. Grandmother, I see you in the north. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. I pray to you, pray to you. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. And as you see that circle of the mothers, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the ascended masters, the angels, all gathering around you, they're honoring you. They're honoring you. And when I look up to the sky and I call in all of those ascended masters and those that your higher self, your angels, your guides, your mother, if she is in heaven, all of those, I call on them now. And you can call in anyone else, if it's Metatron, if it's Shiva, if it's Shakti, if it's Durga, if it's Sekhmet, if it's Kali. Whoever resonates with you, call them in. And then I call on the grandmothers. Grandmother, I see you in the sky. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. I pray to you, pray to you. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. And I take that energy bound through my system, and I turn on all the lights above, and now I turn them on below. And I thank this Mother Earth, who every day lets me walk upon her. Every day she feeds me. Every day she wakes up to me and sends me love. Every day I learn something new. And as I turn into that, and all the animals, and all the plants, and all the trees, this is the most amazing Mother Earth, Gaia, who is taking care of us. And we are the fifth dimension, so we must take care of her, because without her, there is no us. So feel your feet. Send her that love. And as I say, grandmother, I see you in the earth. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. I pray to you, pray to you. You are sacred, and you are looking at me. And now I want you to look at you. And I want you to go into your heart. For you choose to come here. You choose your family. You choose everyone that plays a role in your life. Some teach you. And we are here on a planet called duality. We have choices. We have freedom. Remember, when you listen to this heart, everything comes to you. And in the silence, and in the beauty, and in the day, and in the moment, breathe. And the mother comes. And know how magnificent, know how beautiful you are. Know your healing, know your light. For you are light, and where there is light, there cannot be darkness. Push it away. Stop. And allow yourself to receive. I love you so. You help me see. To see all of you is to see all of me. I'm in you and you're in me. I'm in you and you're in me. I love you so. And feel the love of the mothers. Feel the heart of the mothers. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.